welcome to Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast, episode 255. Didn't you love that intro? It was beautiful. And cadence. It was a cadence. I am your co-host, Kai Wilde. I'm joined by our ever-present co-host, Pete Beckett.
Hello. I didn't even know it was cadence you were doing, but, well.
I was just being weird. But I'm always weird, so that doesn't really mean anything. For me to be normal would be weird. Do you ever think about that? No.
It's the saying that I say to everyone. Everyone is weird in their own weird way.
That's very true. I am Mike Tendo says it's Kiley tanked already. I am
after subscribing for 22 months.
Oh yes, thank you so much, Mike. This is loaded.
Of course it is.
And so am I. No, I'm kidding. Yes. So we're going to do the show a little bit different today. Mm-hmm. Normally this is where I go, hey Pete, what you been playing this week? But we're going to flip and reverse that. Because the whole show is about what Pete played, honestly.
And what I've been doing, yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
So Kylie, how's your week been and what have you been playing?
Oh, thank you so much, Pete. Well, you know what I forgot to do? Pull up my list.
Of course you did.
Let's do that so I know what I'm talking about. Wow, I played a lot of things.
Well, it has been 2 weeks.
It has been, yes. So, right.
Can you send me this list afterwards so I don't get accused of typing on stream?
Oh, I don't care if you type on the stream away.
I know, but someone always moans about it.
But yes, so last week I started a game that I didn't know was gonna be just my whole personality. My whole life now revolves around this game. Although I did mention it. I believe I mentioned it last week. I can't remember. But yes, it's Abiotic Factor. I'm obsessed. Like, hardcore. This game is everything. It is the best parts of some of all of my favorite games. And I haven't gotten tired of it, which I get bored very easily. Nope. I'm loving it. So it is a survival craft. See, the other day I was telling my chat this. The other day I was talking to my friend who is also my trainer. And so occasionally he will so Tanker and Nana, they both crack me up. Occasionally he tries to relate to me as a gamer because that's what, he's trying to be friendly, he's trying to know things. But he's a normal person, a normal adult.
I mean, even I can barely relate at times, and I'm a nerd.
And he's like, well, so what's your current, game? What's the game of the, week or whatever? But not, whatever, how he phrased it. And I was like, Abiotic Factor. And I went on to describe it. And I realized, like, when you are talking to a normal person about adults, if you're an adult talking to a normal adult about video games, you really start to see just how it's a different world. They don't have a clue what you're talking about. And he tried. He goes, oh, so is it like adult Minecraft? And I was like, I guess it's like adult Minecraft.
Basically.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm old and I play video games. That's all I could say. And then he just started laughing. But I appreciate that he tried. I appreciate that. Then,
everyone loves a trier.
It's true. Oh my gosh. Then I played a game that I've watched so many times other people play. I finally decided to take on my own challenge and play Poppy Playtime. It's a puzzler first and foremost. And I hate puzzlers, especially playing them on stream. Because my brain just shuts off when I'm on stream. It has nothing to do with alcohol.
Yeah.
But, as I take 2 giant sips. But yeah, so the puzzles were there, but I only got stuck on one, really. But then the chase scene happened. It was so like old school chasing and running away in games and stuff. It was very good. It scared me so bad in a good way. But after about the, I think, fourth time, I had to just stop and move on because I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. My heart is, I'm going to have a heart attack on stream.
Nice.
And then a bunch more abiotic factor and Tiny Tina's happened, of course. But then on Friday day, I played. I played the full game. By the way, absolutely full game. Dollmere. It was a 4-hour game, and I keep looking at the chat. It's distracting me. They're so funny. But yes, sorry. I'm gonna keep it together now. What was I saying?
Don't know.
Game. Dollmere. That was it. I played all 4 hours of it, and thanks also to the wonderful people here in chat that hung out the whole entire 4 hours over mine. It had a good premise. Obviously, it's a spooky game because it's Spooktober. But at one point, because what you're doing is you're a person who works in a factory putting dolls together, and you have to say, oh, this doll has an imperfection, and you toss them in the burner thing, the thing that catches them on fire. But about halfway through to maybe the second half of towards the end of the game, it actually turns into almost like a real job. You're just inspecting toys. I think it's really boring. I'm sure it's only for about 25 minutes, but that's a long time added up together to be actually inspecting dolls.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, and the ending was predictable, but I liked it. I'm not gonna give it away. There's different endings. We got ending A, and stuff. So I think it's okay. I think it should have been shorter, with less actual work involved.
Oh, okay, one of those ones.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, chat. But that brings me to 2 points, and I promise we'll move on from me and go straight to the real reason we're here.
Not the real reason.
Well, the more entertaining reason, put it that way.
Okay.
The main idea of this episode today. But 2 things. So, I'm trying to fight impulse purchasing the Rogue Ally X. The gentleman that I take care of, his name's Alan. He sent me a ton of links of like Linus Tech Tips and all the kind of like hardware reviewers and stuff. He's like, I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm not.
Bah.
I just want you to have. Well, he's like, I just want you to have a full idea of what it is because that's a big purchase. And I'm like, okay. So I did watch a few of them. No, it didn't change my mind. Of course, I still want it. But I do think I'm going to do what I normally do with consoles, which is I wait a few weeks because they get all the updates and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I still feel very strongly about purchasing it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, there apparently is going to be like a big update in January, I think, for AI upscaling, I believe.
Oh,
I
goodness.
read.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Dagger says go for the OG model, saves a ton. I want to, but they did compare the OG model to the current one. Is it worth the price jump? No, even I have to admit it's not worth the price jump. But it is, technologically speaking, it is very sound and stuff. And then the other thing is, I'm going to show you what's in the box. What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Because same guy I was talking about got Pokemon ZA.
Pokemon Legend ZA.
Yeah, whatever. And it struck me as funny that all the free stuff that Nintendo packaged with it. Yeah, Dagger, when I get one, I'll probably have it dual boot. No, Paulo, you can't get up right now. I'm Oh my gosh. Okay, I think Paula wants to say hi. Okay, okay. Come on. Just come say hi. Okay. Look, world, it's me, Apollo. Look
Hello.
at me. Everyone loves me.
Oh, bless.
Yes. You are a beautiful boy, but you gotta get down right now. Hello, Connie. Oof. Yeah, so this is, I'm gonna show off what came with free with, I say free, I don't know how to describe it. What Nintendo
Included.
bundled. Yes, included in with the game. And I can't help but feel like, as he kept showing me this stuff, that it was like Nintendo padding up, making up for the quality of the game. You know? I will leave that to...
That's a bold statement.
I was gonna say, I'll leave that up to the people who actually play it. I don't know. But, yes. So, let's get through this, and then we'll move on to Pete's experience. But yeah, so, Cap first. Okay, not, fine, right? Okay, that's normal.
Why?
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's not abnormal. Abby-normal. I'll save my favorite bit for last.
Oh, it was ordered from Nintendo store then because of the red
Yes.
inside. Yeah, I can already see it. Yep.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. This came from Nintendo itself. I'll say my favorite, the thing that I'm probably gonna steal.
Nana said, "I've heard the game is good. At least I've heard very differing things."
I've heard differing things as well. But so on top of that, so you get a cap and a mug.
The starters
Yeah.
mug.
And I'm like, okay, well that's cool. But then you kept going. It's just like I've been in marketing for over 20 years. That's where all this comes from, by the way. My past experience tells me that when you package this much stuff, you're either getting rid of old stock, which I don't think that they're doing.
I think they probably are too.
Maybe. Or you're trying to
sweeten the deal, let's say.
Exactly. All right, and then great stuff I have to open. It's not good at the pins.
Probably produced for about 20p.
Yeah. But it kept going. I was just like, what? Figure 1.
Jesus.
Figure 2. Figure 3.
Are you sure he didn't accidentally just add these to the order?
Nope, because I asked. And then he just kept pulling all this stuff. But then this, I was like, oh, that's so cool.
So you're stealing it then, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't leave the house. He's not able to leave the house, so it's only going to be me that's leaving the house.
Nana's asked which version of the game did he get? Is it the Switch 1 or Switch 2 version?
Switch 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, it's a Pokemon umbrella, isn't
That's
it?
cool, but wait till you see the inside.
Don't open it inside, it's bad luck.
I know, but all I have is bad luck, so I'm okay with that. Look at that! How cool is that? I didn't open it all the way. It's only half bad luck. I think that is very cool. Is it worth buying a game for? I don't know.
No. I will say that actually is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool, right? But yes, so to repeat my point, as a person who's been in marketing for longer than some of you have been alive, this is not a good sign. Just let me put it that way.
And yet, Pokemon Legends ZA will probably still go on to sell a stupid amount of copies.
Of course. I mean, it's Nintendo. Of course it will.
It's alright, because in the WhatsApp group we're in, there was a slight... I would say that I was the instigator of a slightly heated debate about Pokemon Legends.
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. The only complaint I've heard so far from the person directly, because again, I don't really play Pokemon, I haven't in many years, is that there's not as much like on Arceus,
Yeah.
you have more areas to explore. This is
More
kinda
biomes
concentrated.
is what you're looking for.
There you go. That's it. Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's the only
there's more
complaint I've
biomes,
heard so
whereas
far.
this is set in a city.
Yeah.
From what I've heard about it as well, the Switch 1 version runs at 30 frames per second, and the Switch 2 version runs at 60. Which I think which is kind of a bit, why?
Yeah. Well, I agree with Brent. I do. They actually sell Blade Runner umbrellas, which have the LEDs and the stick part and
Because
stuff.
of course.
I really do want that.
Oh, for God's sakes, Mike.
Mike says, when it comes to hot debates, Pete is a master debater.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
and also he was shaming me about the Mario
I saw that.
thing as well. And it's
One
like,
day.
One day it will, but when it does go, I'll be behind, so you won't see it ever again.
Oh, yeah. Man, I would love to have a Final Fantasy VII Shinra umbrella. I need to see if I can find. I'd get my hands on that.
That'd be kind of cool, I guess.
And then Gani says, yeah, Switch 1 version looks poor. If you're thinking of upgrading, I would say get the Switch 2 version, as they work on both Switch 1 and 2.
It does.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
But I still think that
Future-proofing.
it's Game Freak and the Pokemon Company are selling that game for probably too much than what it's actually worth.
Well, that's why I'm wondering if they put all that's probably why they put all that stuff in there. I couldn't believe it. Just kept pulling stuff out of that box. I was like, what? Yeah.
Why? It's fine.
Yeah,
Whatever.
exactly. Just
Here's what it is.
But that's me done. I am going to drink the rest of this, which is full of alcohol, my friends. In fact, I might put a little bit more in there.
Today is a day that ends in Y and begins with S.
That's right, it is. Yes, it is. That's so true. And I'm going to toss this over to Pete, because Pete's got a lot to talk about. I want to know, Pete. Well, I mean, the most important part to me, of course, is the food. So you could talk about that, too. But
I mean, I can eventually, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. I know, in all honesty, I really want to know, like, all the sights, smells, the order of things, the blah, blah, blah. Pete did go live last week for about 20 minutes.
About that, yeah, just before the start of the top 8s for Street Fighter 6.
The energy there was amazing.
Oh, it only got louder and louder.
That was amazing.
And louder. I'll get to that in a bit, because my God.
Yeah.
Nana did mention it on the stream, but I'll cover it for obviously people who didn't watch that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have returned from France, and I was over there last weekend, which is why we didn't record, because I was attending EVO France. So this is the inaugural EVO Europe, let's say, or EVO France. So I'm gonna have to give a bit of a backstory, because obviously people probably may not know what EVO even is.
I think that's a good place to start, yes.
EVO is the world's largest open fighting game tournament, and it's also open to the public. So it is several games that are usually held there. This time around it was for EVO France. So it's usually held in America, but the last couple of years they've been sort of expanding here, there and everywhere, sort of around the world. So originally started out as solely a Street Fighter competition called Battle of the Bay back in California, which then decided, once they changed the name to EVO, had moved over to Las Vegas and has been basically the home since 2002, I believe. So this is probably one of the longest running fighting game tournaments ever. And over the last couple of years, since a certain person who was once involved with there got removed, it seems like the management has decided to change things, and probably rightly so, for the better, because over the last few years they've decided to expand into a more worldwide base. So the last couple of years they've had EVO Japan. This one is the first that's had in Europe and will forever remain in France, probably more likely. And in 2027, there is EVO Singapore coming as well. So they're going on a huge expansion tour. I kind of wish they were doing EVO London, but seems pointless if they're doing EVO France.
Yeah.
And so this was held at the, I'm going to butcher the French pronunciation, the Palais d'Exposition in Nice.
Yep. Awesome.
So the south of France. So short hop from where I am, about in the south of England, 90-minute plane ride from Gatwick Airport. And the transfer there probably took about 20 minutes. My hotel was about a 15-minute walk, and Nice is a beautiful city, so highly recommend it.
That's awesome.
Even if you're just visiting, it's a great place. Amazing, in fact. So EVO, so this time around when they were doing the games lineup, so it was Street Fighter 6, Tekken 7, Tekken 8, sorry, Dragon Ball Fighters, Christ, I'm going to have to bring up the list, I am so bad with this. Guilty Gear Strive, Hunter x Hunter, God, Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. God, I can't even remember all the games. Jesus Christ.
That's crazy.
Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising.
Right, of course.
And that was it. Yeah, 7 games basically. So this is the event is had over like 3 days. So there's so you basically do pools for each of the games. With Friday they had a few of the top, what they call the top 8s. Mm-hmm. So there was, I believe it was Hunter x Hunter and then Impact and Grand Blue Fantasy Versus was on the Friday's top 8s.
Right.
On the Saturday it was Dragon Ball Fighters, Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, and one I think that was it. And then on the Sunday was Strive, Tekken, and then Street Fighter 6. Okay. I know they're taking the absolute mick.
They're taking the mick.
I know. Sorry, it's been an exhausting last few weeks, and I'm still not even 100% as well. So it's going to be awful. So the way that the event works out is that pools are played over the Friday and the Saturday, depending on the number of entrants that had. Something like Street Fighter 6, I believe, had over 1,600 or 1,700 entrants. Tekken, crazy. I believe, had 1,200.
Holy crap.
So they had pools going all the way through Friday and Saturday, and then their finals on Sunday. A few of the other games obviously only had a few, had significantly less, but there was still a huge amount of people there. But that's not to say that there wasn't other things going on as well. So I wanted to talk about some of the other things that went on before we talk about all the pools, some of the reason why I went there as well. So basically it starts out, you go on the long walk up from the street basically into the venue. 3 lines were segmented, so they had a VIP line or fast pass line, general admission, and then a line for those who were doing their pools like at a certain time. So if you went on the Friday and you happened to be running late, then you got fast track basically so that you could get to your games, because they started at about 10 a.m. Security was unbelievable all weekend long. There was bag checks all happening, but they were very swift, they were quick about it. They even had security on the door making sure people weren't stealing things on the way out as well, because as you can imagine, there was PS5s and monitors that everywhere, so they were always checking to make sure someone hadn't nicked anything. But they were always very friendly, very hospitable, and very, very good. But the one thing they did do is they actually opened up badge collection on the Thursday, so all throughout the day on the Thursday you could go up, collect your badge for the weekend, so you obviously didn't have to queue up on the Friday whilst you're trying to get in. So that made things a lot more easy. And originally it was only supposed to be till 6 p.m, but they extended it until 10 p.m.
Right.
Just the amount of people they had. So as you got into there was a merch stall sort of in the main foyer, which didn't open until 2 o'clock on the Friday afternoon.
Right.
But that was for mainly EVO merch.
Right, okay.
So I think
that
they
makes
were
sense.
having some issues with getting it over, or
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't too sure why they opened it that late.
Yeah.
Then they had badge collection on the right hand side, like a desk on the right hand side as well. So went down like a set of stairs, and you got onto the main, what they call show floor. They had one catering area there, but they had a couple of other little like things set up outside for people to get food and drinks and that. Always busy, as you can imagine.
Of course.
But there was plenty of places around the city, like even nearby, that you could go. So there was plenty of supermarkets. So it wasn't the worst.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I will say that it was probably savagely overpriced, but that's sort of as you can expect for a convention.
I was gonna say, yeah.
So as you went, nearby to there, they had an arcade set up. So all the old classic like arcade machines basically set up as like how they would be in the arcades. So they had Darkstalkers, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, or Super Street Fighter 2 Turbos, Third Strike.
Awesome.
Some of the games that did actually cross over, did change rounds. They did have Gem Fighter there on one of the days, and a few other games. Can't remember half of them they had there, but there was so many machines there, and they did actually run some tournaments on Street Fighter 2 Turbo as well.
That's crazy.
So they had like a computer set up ready for people to commentate and actually stream the event, because that was one of the main draws of it for some people as well, is that they did bring your own controller tournaments, and that was mostly on the Sunday, but I'll talk about that when I get to actually the Sunday event. Also included within that was 3 arcade cabinets for a game that is currently in an open beta stage as well.
Right.
Called 2XKO. 2XKO is the League of Legends fighting game made by Riot Games.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
They also
we spoke about that.
We have. They also had a huge booth there because there was a few machines set up there and a big setup because they actually had a side tournament running there as well.
Right.
So that was absolutely mobbed. The cool thing that they did have with that arcade cabinet, because they specifically put it on an arcade cabinet, they had people from Riot Games standing around, obviously monitoring it, with Sharpie pens, so that you could sign or draw on the cabinet.
Oh.
So they specifically put a sign up saying we wanted to take this back and we want everyone to put your mark on the game, basically. So as the weekend got longer in the tooth, you could see it more and more like graffitied up, basically, which was awesome.
Interesting. Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't play it. I have reasons behind not playing it. I explained this to Kiley. I did actually record a video on this when I got home on Monday and just refused to release it because I thought it was shite. In that video, I did specifically tell my reasons, but I will tell it now. I have issues with Riot Games after their controversies, and I will refuse to support them. So I am not going to play their game, despite how cool it looks. Yeah. I did watch a lot of games of it, just because obviously it's in an open area. I just stood around and watched a load of games, and it looks cool. Just no thanks. Not willing to pay.
Yeah.
Not willing to play it. So to the side of that, they had what was an EVO arcade stick collection. So it was arcade sticks throughout the years. And it was only for PlayStation because it's a PlayStation supported tournament. So they did a like PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 5 arcade sticks, like all in glass cabinets. But then they also had some EVO specific ones that people have won over the years. So one of the things that they present as a trophy for the top 3 players is bronze, silver and gold arcade sticks.
Oh, that's very cool.
So they had a few of those included, which was kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Nearby there, they had a Nacon stand, which had a load of peripherals, because Nacon was one of the partners there. So arcade sticks were being sold. I'm sure they made a lot of sales that weekend because
I bet.
I saw it a few times. People's sticks were giving out as they were trying to play their pool game. So what better than just walking across the show floor and going, I need a stick quickly.
Yes.
So perfect. They had the 2XKO section there where there was some setups there. They also had a Bandai Namco store and several Tekken 8 setups. This does come around to actually one of the games I did play, and I was quite happy it was there. I got another chance to play Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls.
Right.
This time a brand new version of the game with 2 new characters included and a new stage.
I gotta know.
Spider-Man and Ghost Rider.
Okay. Oh, neat.
So the stand was kind of strange. So you know how things are in like conventions, how you get line set up for it. They had probably about 10 setups for it. So there were just screens there with consoles or PCs underneath. But they had it where on the setup they had one controller and then one arcade stick. So you didn't get to you got to choose which one you wanted to use depending on who you were playing it with. Right. However, some of them were normal arcade sticks, so the stick like joystick ones. Some of them were known as a levelless one or a hitbox. So rather than actually having a joystick, they're buttons.
Okay.
They are really quite unusual if you've never seen them before.
No.
And you didn't get a choice, so you just got put on one. If it was there, you had to use it, basically. And I've always been somewhat curious about leveless arcade sticks or hitboxes, and I finally got my chance to use one through playing this game, and I hate it. It's like rewiring your brain, but I guess...
oh, no!
So one of the people that I ended up getting paired with, because they sort of walked around the line, was like, are you on your own? Yes. All right, you go with that person then. And it was quite cool. So I got to speak to different people and play with different people, which was awesome.
I like that a lot. Yeah.
The person who was like, yeah, I don't mind using levelers. And I was just like, I'm going to use it because I want to try it. I was like, do you by any chance play on PC quite a bit? And they went, yes. And I was like, that would explain why you're quite alright with it. I'm not. Yeah. So I'm glad I got to experience it, but no, I am never using one again.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, the game is excellent. Really enjoyed what I played of it. Ghost Rider is, as you probably would imagine he plays, a very ranged fighter, but yeah, he looks even more incredible in person, like in motion than I thought he would.
Yeah. Oh,
and
that's so cool.
Well, Spider-Man is as you'd expect as well, a trick character.
Right.
Very heavy on mobility and got a heavy emphasis on zoning as well. But once he actually does get in, he can cause big damage, which is great.
Right.
So yeah, and the new stage is actually really nice as well. So the stage that they had in the closed beta was like a cityscape stage. This one was more like a woodlands sort of area. So it shows off the different dynamics of the actual, like, the stages themselves. So there's going to be a lot of unique, like, areas, I can imagine, within the game. Yeah. So, yeah, it was quite nice to actually play it. I actually played it 3 times throughout the weekend. Because why not?
Nice. Exactly.
What else was I going to do? So, walking the way through, basically, that after all of that, the other thing that they did have, they had a few merch stalls, like a few little knickknacks and a few other things that they did. One of the other stalls that I had there was Turtle Beach were there because they were showing off a new line of arcade sticks called the Vitrix sticks.
Right.
They had hitbox ones and normal joystick ones. And they had one set up there with Street Fighter 6 on it to give it a try, and I actually got to use one of their new sticks, and oh my god, it feels amazing. It's about as bulky as the size of my one, so for context, I mean, there's the box for it, so it's quite chunky, as you can imagine,
it would be.
And there's not much space left over on that. So it was probably about the same sort of like length as it, but it was a bit thinner.
Right.
But it doesn't weigh anything. It's very strange.
But wouldn't you want it to be heavy?
Kind of, yes, but if you're setting it on your lap, then that's where half the problem is. No, it was a very weirdly lightweight arcade stick, and I thought it felt really nice, actually.
Right.
I'd be tempted to get one myself, but I quite like the stick that I have already, and I can't justify spending another £200 on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
That I understand.
So, yeah. So, the only other thing that they did have there is they had a museum, kind of.
Ooh,
So it was just like different fighting game artwork from across the years. A lot of Namco ones from like the Tekken games, some SNK ones from Metal Slug, King of Fighters, Fatal Fury. But they also had like the Capcom and SNK, like Capcom versus SNK 2 ones and stuff like that. So
yeah,
it was kind of cool to see that up on the wall. And actually, I think one of the tagline it said is that video game art is just amazing. So why not?
Exactly.
So after that, they had all the pools areas. So this is basically where all the games for the tournament were going on, and you could just walk around every single section of it. That was segmented into 5 different areas. So one for Tekken, one for Street Fighter, which were on the left-hand side as you walk down, and they were occupied all weekend long because the rackets were huge. And then over the right-hand side is you had various other games, because I think Hunter x Hunter and Hunter x Hunter, as Nana's put in the chat, was their top 8s was on Friday, so most of the tournament happened on Friday. And then and then you had on Friday you had the pools for Dragon Ball and Fatal Fury there as well, and then across Saturday, Summer Saturday, you had Grand Blue there. So there was, and the cool thing that they did with it as well is they had 5 different stages, and they were like basically set up for each of the streams. So they had a Tekken one, so and they were played all the way through the weekend. So it was like a little seated area. So you had like a row of seats, and then people just standing around behind it. And those were usually the games that were streamed on the EVO channels.
Right. Yes.
And yeah, it was incredible. Like just watching people just sit there and just watch everything going on.
Yeah.
And then behind that is where the main stage area was. So, huge amount of seating, big stage presence, lights, probably what you saw on the streamers if you did watch it.
I love all that stuff.
Throughout Friday and Saturday, that was just open to the public. Anyone could go in there and do whatever just go and sit in and watch it all. On the Sunday, it was actually locked. So you couldn't really go in there unless you had a wristband, because they wanted people that were there specifically who had paid the money to actually be there for finals day, to go and watch that, to actually go and get a seat. That didn't mean that you couldn't watch the finals, because people were just standing around outside that area. And the atmosphere was ridiculously cool, but I'll get to that properly. So
cool.
The final bit that they did have is they had an upstairs section, which was like a free play area, where they had a load of setups and it had different games on it. So Street Fighter, Tekken, Dragon Ball, for people to basically go and get a few games in before they went and go and play their tournament games, and then a bring your own controller section on the right hand side. So this was mainly utilised properly on the Sunday, so people were bringing different setups that they wanted. So several PS4s there. Someone brought a Steam Deck and had Rivals of Aether, I think, playing on it. Someone had Skullgirls playing on there at one point as well. This was mainly for bring your own controller tournaments. So on the Sunday they had a few games there, including Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3. And that got a huge presence. I went out to go and watch some of the tournament on Sunday, and it was incredible. Kind of wish I would have signed up. That's kind of one of my regrets, is that I didn't actually sign up for that tournament. It was free to enter, so should have done. But I didn't have the nerve, because I was loitering around the area, saw a couple of the people playing, and went, oh god, I'm going to get bodied, so bottled it. Yeah, I should have gone just
Well,
for fun, but hey.
You should have, yeah.
I lost my nerve. That was all it was.
It happens. It
Pussy.
happens.
Anyway. I think it sort of is a bit more understandable when I talk about my actual journey through the tournament itself. So, I went specifically because I was going to compete in Street Fighter 6. So,
Yes.
this comes to one of the games that I was playing over the time, Street Fighter 6. Where I was playing a lot of it. Even to the point where I put a tweet out on the Thursday going, I'm in France, someone come and play some games. And unfortunately, no. Got nobody, so I just sat in my hotel room that evening, just on training mode. Just trying to get some things down. So, played a couple of games before my actual game and met a really, really nice Swedish gentleman there who wasn't in my pools, but he also had the same outcome that I did, basically, which is a shame.
Right.
He also had the most incredible arcade stick I've ever seen in my life. A custom-built Lego one.
Oh, very cool.
Which was amazing, by the way.
Also, that's the title right there. Mike Tindo just said the title.
Oh, God, yeah. Okay. Fine. It's been copied. It is done. Ugh. It is done. So, yeah. Anyway. So, I went to go and compete. I got given my pools, and they usually do it about a week before, maybe a little bit less. So I knew who I was going to come up against.
Right.
So the first game I got drawn against, it was a young lad who was a signed player.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it wasn't one of the major names like you would imagine, but it was still someone who was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And they played what's known as modern Ken, so you've got two different control methods. You've got classic and modern. Modern is like more simplistic, but Ken is a beast in the game anyway, and playing him on modern controls is absolutely even more ridiculous. I got my literal ass handed to me very, very quickly.
Oh my gosh.
So it's best out of... So it works out this, the tournament bracket is like best of three. Best of three set games basically makes up a set. And the tournament is a double elimination. So you start out in winner's side. If you lose your first, you lose your first game, you go into the loser's side. And then if you lose again, you're out. So, yeah, I got put into loser's side in my first game, which is very unfortunate. And the game lasted... probably no more than 5 minutes. It was brutal. It was horrendous. Probably the vast majority of that time was probably button checking. So yeah, it didn't go well.
Oh my goodness.
So the way it works is you've got a referee basically around each stand, and you have to go and report your score afterwards. So when I reported, and they went, okay, well, you might as well stay on there. Your next game's coming up. So I'm like, great. I haven't even got any time to decompress after that and figure out what the hell I did wrong, to then go into my next game, which is in the loser's side. And I came up against a character that I have not experienced a lot of online, which happens to be a character called Marisa. And she is a tank. So has a lot... hits heavy, but is quite slow. And when you're playing a character like I do, which is Kimberly, who is very aggressive, when you're playing against a character that hits heavy, they have a lot of defensive options. Kimberly does not have a lot of those. So I kept trying to put myself on the front foot, and he kept counter-supering me.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So this was a little bit better, I would say, but I still lost quite badly.
Well.
And I didn't take a game because of one input error let me down.
Oh, no.
And I was so annoyed by it. So I went out 0-2, which is the one thing I didn't want to do.
Well. But it was a great experience. That's what matters.
Had fun regardless. It was fine.
Exactly.
So yeah, based on the fact that I went 0-2 in that tournament, I kind of did not really want to go 0-2 in Ultimate Marvel 3 as well. So that's kind of why I bottled it. So yeah, that was my Friday done basically for games itself played. But I spent the vast majority of the time actually just loitering around, going to play other games and just relax and sit by the main stage and just watch some games that were going on there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was Friday. Saturday was much of the same, except the vast majority of the time was just sat there watching the top 8s for Fatal Fury City of the Wolves and Dragon Ball FighterZ, which,
right,
oh my word, they were incredible. I don't play Dragon Ball FighterZ,
right,
but watching that game being played at a high level is a thing of art.
I was going to say anything at high level.
Unbelievable. Yes. It's ridiculous. Obviously, I was rooting for the guy that was from the UK.
Yes,
he got 4th in the end, I believe.
Oh, right.
Who did really well. I actually saw him in the airport as I was coming home as well, which was, he was on my flight.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
I'll get to that in a bit anyway, but yeah, that was just like probably some of the best top 8 that I watched throughout the weekend. Actually, like it was just unreal. And then the funny thing is you could hear it all the way throughout though. Is that one of the stages for Street Fighter was literally just by the main stage, and people were absolutely going insane, and you could just hear so many like crowds like going like popping off. I won't tell you the reason why they did until it becomes apparent, like for the top 8s itself for Street Fighter. So Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, I got like basically a centre seat for it, so I was pretty much right in the centre of the main stage. I can be seen on several occasions on the stream just sitting there. I was also caught on a live, like on an actual video that went up on Twitter as well. And like they were filming on the Friday. I'm literally sat there just like watching games, and you could see the back of my head.
That's awesome.
It's cool. I sent a picture of it to you. I was like, oh my god.
You did, yeah.
Yeah. So that wasn't the reason why I was there. I was there to watch. So the Fatal Fury City of the Wolves top 8 was just ridiculously good as well. So yeah. And then Sunday. So Sunday was the main day. Like when I went to Vegas and went to the EVO before, I missed out on the main stage experience.
Right.
Didn't realise it was a separate ticket, so missed out on that. So this time was like, I'm absolutely getting it. I'm not missing out on it, and I'm glad that I did, because that was basically my entire week, the entire part of what I did on that day. So I was playing, for the most part, I played a lot of Street Fighter 2 on that day. Came up against some really, really good players. Found out that I can actually play Blanca pretty well in that game, which I've never touched before.
Yeah.
But I got my butt handed to me by several people.
Wow.
Which was kind of awesome. Turns out one of them is actually like a very, very decent like Street Fighter 2 Turbo player.
That's awesome.
Didn't realise who they were until someone came up to them and went, "Can I get a picture with you?" Oh my god.
Yeah.
I took rounds, it was fine. It was good.
Well, that's good. No, that's good. That's definitely something you can.
Yeah, I could. I was quite happy with it.
Yeah.
And so the vast majority. So I basically sat on the main stage area pretty much from like 2 p.m. I think it was till nearly 10 p.m. when the event finished, because I was watching all of the Tekken 8 top 8s.
Yeah.
And actually sitting in the crowd for when. So one of the things that they do is they do reveals there sometimes.
Yeah.
And Tekken 8 had their big reveal of the next new character that's coming out.
Ooh.
And they showed the trailer off for the first time. They also had a stage presence with Harada, which is one of the main producers from the game. Came out and announced the trailer. I could also see him sitting in the crowd the entire time as well, watching the top 8s. And he got hounded throughout most of the breaks. So people were wanting like pictures and signatures and stuff like that. And he was more than happy to do it, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But the Tekken top 8s were just unreal. It's I said it in my video, but I didn't actually obviously put it out to anyone to watch. So Tekken is a game that every time I watch the top 8s at EVO, I always think to myself, I really want to go and play Tekken. And then I pick up Tekken and go, oh god, I can't play Tekken. so I don't carry on playing it. But it was another one of those situations where I was like, this game is like art. Mm-hmm. It was just ridiculous. Like, the amount, like, the way that game is played at a high level is just like a thing of beauty. It's literally like a dance, and it is just incredible to watch. Like, so much ducking, weaving, dodging, dipping, you know.
Yeah.
The 5Ds of dodgeball.
Yes.
But it is just so intricate, and I just look at it and go, they're just fishing for like one mistake, and then it's like 12, 13 hit combo for like nearly half their life, and it's like, goodness. Oh my god. And someone who doesn't really know much of the mechanics of Tekken 8, I started to learn it as I was watching the game, and it was just like, you could understand when something was unbelievably hype. And I was buying into the hype in a major way. So one of the players there is like probably one of the most dominant Tekken players that's been around on the circuit, called Arslan Ash. And he went through basically the entire top 8s in the loser's side of the bracket, making it a lot more difficult to even win the tournament.
Oh no.
But he ended up winning the whole damn thing.
Oh wow.
And that, I can't remember what they said. I think he's won nearly every EVO tournament.
That's wild.
I think he did. I think he won EVO Japan, EVO America, and EVO France this year for Tekken 8.
That's crazy. They need to study him.
I mean, it was just crazy how well he did. It was just unbelievable.
Wow.
So yeah, I sat there and watched that whole thing, and I was like, I think I only missed one match, and that was it, because I had to go pee.
Yes, which does happen.
It does, yeah. I lost my seat, which was unfortunate, because you know, I wasn't going to leave my bag just sitting there for no reason.
No.
So I sort of was like, all right, well, I'll just have to find another seat. It's fine. I'll just find another one. So what I did then is I stayed there for the entire time, because I knew that a lot of the Tekken people were not interested in Street Fighter.
Right, okay.
So I managed to get a seat that was a lot closer for the Street Fighter 6 top 8s.
Yeah. Oh, good.
And yeah, when I was live streaming it, that's where my seat was. I was literally that close.
I kid you not, for people listening, the energy that was just coming across from just Pete's stream alone. I wanted to be there. I don't even do fighting games, and I was just like, it's just so, it was so cool.
It was amazing, honestly. The top 8s for Street Fighter were just also unbelievably incredible for one particular reason. I left this aside when I was talking about the Dragon Ball FighterZ one. The pop-offs that were going off from the Street Fighter 6 tournament was because a local professional player by the name of Mr. Crimson, a French player, got all the way through to the top 8.
Oh, wow. Oh,
and
that felt great.
Obviously that support meant that crowd was electric.
Oh, that's very cool.
It was the loudest I heard it all weekend long, and it was a thing of beauty. So every time he played, everyone was on their feet. Like, just...
Yeah, I bet.
It was... Like, you could see it on the stream if you were to go back and watch it. When they announced him on the top 8s, it just went mad.
That's so wild.
Oh my god. And he came 4th in the end.
Right. That's not bad.
And he did incredibly well.
Yeah.
When he eventually did drop out of the tournament, unfortunately, you had the entire crowd on their feet, clapping, saying merci.
Aww, that's so cool.
It was ridiculous. I'd say one of the biggest stories throughout the entire thing, because this is one of the things that's it's like professional wrestling. You have stories that go the way through.
Right.
And the biggest story, there's two big stories from the weekend for Street Fighter 6. There's obviously Mr. Crimson being the French player, trying to take it all the way. The other major one is that this particular player came onto the scene a couple of years ago and went quite far in his first EVO tournament.
Right.
And so he was going out, and this is the first time he'd been outside of like the US. He's a Chilean player.
Oh, right.
By the name of Blaz. Now, if I was to tell you that when he played in that first EVO tournament, he was 11 years old.
Oh, wow.
This time around, he's 15.
That's insane. That is insane.
He came second.
That's insane.
And
that is insane.
And it was the most unbelievable set of matches that I have ever watched in my life. Because he played across a loser's side the entire way, made it to the point where he played against Mr. Crimson, and even he was getting respect from the French crowd for the fact that he took him down. And then went and won his next game in losers finals to take it to grand finals. Right. He ended up causing what's known as a bracket reset, where he's taken the person who's in the winner's side, won the first set of games, meaning he's put them down to losers, meaning that it's a whole nother set to determine who's the grand final, like the winner, basically.
Right. Okay.
And he was 2-0 down in that first set, and ended up doing it winning it 3-2.
Oh my!
And then got to, I think he ended up losing it 3-1 in the final set.
Right.
But the fact that a 15-year-old player against what is probably one of the more experienced fighting game players out there as well,
so wild,
had taken this player all the way pretty much to the end, and it was just incredible. You could see the disappointment on his face as well, because he lost, and he did give some applause to the crowd, obviously, but he walked off very quickly, and you could tell the utter disappointment was there. Because even when he came out, like, to collect his prize, like, and his medal and his silver arcade stick, you could tell he didn't want to be there.
Oh,
and that's sheerly through disappointment of obviously losing out, like nearly going all the way. And I could totally sympathise, but it was brutal, man. But fair play to him, 15 years old, and you've just absolutely silenced the French crowd by going nearly all the way.
Exactly.
And I think the French crowd were like, okay, if you've put out Mr. Crimson, then we want you to win it. And it was so close. So eventually he probably will win an EVO tournament.
Oh, I think so, yeah.
God. I kept seeing his name all the way through. And one of the cool things that he did is he didn't stick with one character. He was one of those ones who's very much like a Takedo, a Daigo, or Justin Wong. Pretty much plays a character for the situation. So in top 8s alone, he played Ken, Ryu, and Sagat.
Right. Oh my gosh. No, I mean he doesn't have anything to worry about. I'm sure he'll
be fine. He will be fine. Yeah. He's been signed. He's very much going to be there or thereabouts for many, many years.
Yeah.
What a talent that boy is.
Man.
Fair play to him. But it was quite nice to actually see some like big players there. Through in the 2XKO tournament, I did see a content creator there by the name of JM Crofts playing a game, who is quite big in the fighting game community. Has actually commentated on quite a lot of games, like in EVO as well. So I saw him playing a game actually, and it was quite cool because being an open tournament and a convention, like you can just see all these players just walking around, just doing their thing.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Like throughout the weekend, you could see like mainstays from like the Tekken community, like Tasty Steve, Logan Sama was there, which is one of the Street Fighter commentators. I think Justin Wong was there at one point as well, I believe. It was an unreal event, and I'm so glad that I went. They announced it's coming back again next year around about the same time, so if you didn't get the chance to go to this one, I highly recommend it. Nice is a beautiful city.
Oh,
and
yes.
I obviously didn't talk about the food, but the food is unreal. I mean, it's France. Of course, the food's brilliant.
Of course it is.
And just walking around like that city, like incredibly safe, incredibly
Oh
like
yeah.
decent. Like I was walking around on my own, like no problems whatsoever. Like
Yeah.
everyone was like really respectful of each other, really like happy to be there. You know, everyone saying hello and stuff like that. So if you were there on your own, like, and you wanted to play like tokon, then you got paired up with people and you're just having a chat with them. It was an awesome event, like, and it went off without a hitch throughout the entire weekend, I think. So
Yeah.
always good to know. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't cheap. Like the ticket itself wasn't the cheapest.
Yeah.
But that was because I made it like that way because I wanted to
Yeah.
make sure I got the final day experience.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say that was one of the only criticisms I had of the whole thing, is that actually the way that they do it in Las Vegas is that, I know it's a very, very different dynamic. Where they hold it in the Mandalay Bay is they have two different separate convention centres.
Right.
So you've got one big convention centre where all the pools, all the bring your own tournament and stuff goes on. But then because it's a major venue, sort of like the MGM Grand, they actually have like an arena, like a full-on arena. They've held like pool, like matchroom pool, like the Moscone Cup's been there. They've had boxing there in the Mandalay Bay over the years.
Right.
So it's an actual like stadium, let's say. So all of that was locked off on the Sunday, and the atmosphere is completely electric by going in there. This one was sort of like, it was just at the back of like the hall, and everyone could access it to a certain point. Like it was barriered off, there were security guards there, but I felt like it was a good thing that obviously the atmosphere was great because people who hadn't paid for it could be there to watch all the final games.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, like it didn't feel exclusive that you paid your money. You didn't really feel like an exclusive thing that everyone was able to get apart from a seat. Right. Whereas in Vegas it felt like pretty much like that way. Yeah. So it was a small criticism, but a criticism nonetheless, I would say. But I wouldn't say it was a bad thing, because it made the crowd presence a lot better in that respect.
I was gonna say, yeah, exactly. That could have been the entire point, you know.
I guess that's probably the way to differentiate it between EVO Japan and EVO like America, is they probably wanted it to be a lot more open, let's say. Yeah. Which is fair enough. Like if that's the dynamic they're going for, then I get it. But yeah, it's cool. But yeah, EVO France, what an experience. I kind of want to go again next year. Can't guarantee I'm going to go again next year, but if I do, then I probably have to accept that my fighting game career is never going to happen.
Yeah, but at least the experience is there. I mean, that is fun.
I just enjoyed taking my arcade stick and just playing games. It was great.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was fun. It was fun. So
that's good to hear.
I mean, my review of EVO France was utterly incredible. Like 5 out of 5. Would recommend anyone who's into fighting games to go, because
that's very good.
What an experience.
Yeah. Well, I think it was great.
It was awesome. Kind of like this week's been a bit of a downer though, because it's like, I've got to go back to reality after like 3 days of awesomeness.
It's the post-convention blues that everyone gets.
It is. Everyone. It's horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I was there from Thursday to Monday, and trying to get home on the Monday was not the easiest. But so I'll talk about that experience, because we're in the airport, just flying home, and I've got my earphones in because I'm sort of just doing my own thing. I'm sitting there like, there's nothing to eat. There's nothing to like nothing I want to eat. There's bottles of water that I could get. Like, couldn't find a cup of tea to save my life.
Oh,
like,
no.
English tea. Could not find one anywhere, which was a pain.
Oh, no.
I'm such a little islander. It's ridiculous. Should have taken my own tea bags. Usually would. So I'm sitting there like after security, and I'm like, I need a drink. I need something to eat. I haven't eaten. Like, the only thing I ate was some pastries in the morning before I'd left my hotel, and that was at like 5 in the morning.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Well, it's about 6 in the morning actually. My flight was reasonably early, so I was like, I want to get on the flight, because once we're in the air, I can get a drink and like something to snack on. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So we're waiting around, and I've already been told before I get there there's going to be like a 45-minute delay, which is great. I'm like, fantastic.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
And then we're queuing up, like, waiting to get on the plane. And you know how, like, EasyJet run things is like, you've got speedy boarding and then normal boarding.
Yes.
It's like,
And
okay.
there's no difference.
No. So we encountered someone who has been a resident in the UK for the last God knows how many years, but is not, like, a national. So they might have, like, indefinite leave to remain or... Like,
Oh, right, okay.
but they still had to prove that they were a resident in France. It's like, why did I have to prove that? It's apparently a new thing that the British government have brought in, like, very recently.
Yeah, I saw a headline about that. Oh, no.
Yeah, so they had to prove to the desk staff that they were allowed to get back into the UK because of their residency. And you got people like standing behind going, why do they have to do this? What's going on? Like, and these people were like British citizens, and we're all sitting there like debating it. Like, and we get onto the little bus that takes us over to the plane, and everyone's just like, oh, typical British bureaucracy and all that sort of thing. And I was like, great.
Yep.
And someone turns around and goes, yeah, because this is really going to help with the immigrant problem, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And we're all British and we're sitting there just going like, what the hell is this all about?
I know. Oh my god.
And then I get onto the plane, and there was two guys who were clearly had been at EVO because they still got their lanyards on.
Oh, yes.
And they were just like, oh, did you go to EVO? I was like, because I'm wearing the same T-shirt. Wearing the pack. Yeah. I have washed it since, by the way.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, did you go to EVO? I was like, yeah. And we were just like, for basically like the first part of the journey, we were just talking about the whole experience. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's my favourite
But then they delayed the flight whilst we were on the flight because there was an issue with someone's baggage.
Oh my gosh.
Didn't tell us, so it was like, all right, sit there for about an hour and a half. But at this point, I hadn't drunk any water since before getting into security. Didn't have a cup of tea. Hadn't had anything to eat, and I'm getting a headache.
You would.
Oh, help. So we got up into the air finally, and I was like, they were like, okay, well, it's only a quick flight. It's like 90 minutes. Like, we're going to do like both services together. So they came round, and I went, tea.
Everything.
I was like, give me a tea, give me soda wheat, and that was it. I'm like, I don't care how much it costs me, just give it to me.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yes.
So yeah, but weirdly enough though, like getting through like England, like getting off the plane and then through all of that, like I have never encountered it before where I've got off a plane and then by the time I've hit security, I already know when the bags are coming out and what like carousel they're on. Because by the time I got through passport control and into that hall, they were coming out and mine was like the fourth or fifth one out. And I'm like, oh, this was so easy.
That was very lucky.
I know, it was silly, but after all the delays, it was like, I was supposed to be back into the UK at like 11 o'clock. Got back at like 1:15 and got home by 2 o'clock.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
The joys of living close to an airport, I guess, but still not great. I was like, I really need... Because I still had to go and do things for the day, and I'm like, oh...
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
But anyway, that was my trip. It was bloody incredible.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It does, and I definitely think you should do it again next year.
I want to, but there's reasons why I might not be able to. It'll be very much life stuff, and I'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, well, it does sound like you had a great time, and it was well run.
It was incredibly well run. I'd say the only thing that I would probably let it down was, and it wasn't the worst thing in the world, the hotel wasn't the greatest. But it was relatively cheap, so I can't argue too much with it. It was it was more location than anything. So if I'm going to do it again, I probably would do an Airbnb.
Yeah, or just something nicer, I suppose.
Yeah,
but
probably.
Well, I totally get that.
Yep.
Well, folks, that's actually basically the show.
It is, but I actually do have. I do have a couple of stories to cover through.
Yeah.
And they have somewhat relation to EVO.
I do want to apologize ahead of time that this episode is so short.
No, it's fine.
We're just wiped out.
Yeah, it is.
Wiped out. But yes, Pete has 2 stories.
So the first story was, and this is just more of a, this was quite big that happened throughout the weekend, over the week, is the creator of Dead or Alive.
Yes.
Itagaki, who passed away, age 58.
Yeah.
And obviously because it's fighting game related, you know. And he's a big name, obviously Team Ninja
Big
founder and Ninja Gaiden director. Obviously probably was actively involved in Ninja Gaiden 4, which comes out this coming week.
Yeah.
And, you know, probably doesn't get to see it release, which is a shame.
Yeah.
And it completely came out of the blue, like nobody knew anything until it had happened. And several big people, including Harada, have put their own stories up, like how great he was. So, so I just wanted to say big respects to the man and rest in peace.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The second story, and this is only quick because I need to share my screen on this one.
Okay.
You will get why in a bit. It's great.
Okay. I see McDonald's back there.
You shall. Let me just bring this up. So you can see my screen here.
Yes.
Basically, McDonald's Japan is selling Street Fighter themed burgers.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep, but it's the videos that they put out that are utterly ridiculously cool.
Oh my God.
And there are 3 of them, and they're only short, and I just wanted to show them because I thought these were just brilliant. So...
Oh my gosh.
So, I'll start from the beginning.
Oh man, I want to go to Japan so bad.
McDonald'sに会いに行くストリートバーガーはいサンダークルッシュトリーチウィンストリートバーガーズ今だけタラタタタお得なクーポンも
So, that's the Ken and Bison one.
Yes.
They did a Guile and Chun-Li one, which I will bring up now.
Yes.
マクドナルドに会いに行くストリートバーガーはい100で油淋鶏マヨチキンウィンストリートバーガーズ今だけやったお得なクーポンも
These are just so dumb, but they're brilliant.
It's so stupid. I love it.
I know,
love
and
it
then
so much.
and then you got the final one here, which is Ryu and Goken, Ryu and Akuma, sorry, or Goki. So,
マクドナルドに会いに行くストリートバーガーはい焦がしニンニク照り焼き焦がしニンニクマヨ卵照り焼きウィンストリートバーガーズ今だけトルトトトお得なクーポンも
these are so dumb, but they're so brilliant. They're so brilliant. I think the coolest thing is that actually they remodeled basically Street Fighter 2 and put their own sprites in it.
Yes,
Including
I love
like
it
the
so
chicken,
much.
the McChicken sandwich, the Goki's garlic Hadouken. It's just ridiculous.
I love those. I'm the dork that would absolutely buy burgers based on those commercials.
Yeah, and then his raging demon at the end, and he's holding a bag of McDonald's as well at the end of it. It's just so dumb. Like the whole thing is just completely ridiculous, but
it is.
Just needed something fun to talk about. So at the end of that, so yeah. Anyway,
that was great.
Street Fighter themed burgers. That's awesome.
That's wonderful.
Anyway, that's us for the week.
Yes, that's us. Can you believe it?
Yeah, now you can understand why I left those both to last, because they're somewhat related.
It's short and sweet, the way I like my men. But
oh God, here we go.
Anyway, but yeah, Pete, where else can they find you out in the world?
You can find me on manhandling the Twitter and the Blue Sky account. I'm not even manhandling. Absolutely, leaving them alone and doing nothing with them as per usual.
Yeah, I haven't looked at them in about a year, 2 years.
I can't be bothered anymore. Like, social media is just not a thing that I deal with. But anyway, So yeah, but you can find me on the Never Watchers podcast. Did put out the Ironheart episode before I went away on holiday last week.
Yes.
I have to say I was pleasantly surprised with Kurt's reaction about it, but if you want to know what his reaction was and what mine was, go and listen to the episode. It's found at The Never Watchers on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and a few other places. Currently working on getting those episodes onto YouTube soon, so look out for that. But I need to do a little bit of housekeeping before we go.
Okay.
Because if you've liked this episode, please give it a like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. That old lark.
Yeah.
And and this is a big if you are in the London area over on the 24th of October at 4 p.m. and happen to have a ticket to Comic-Con/EGX, you can see us doing a panel.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live for 45 minutes. We are going to be covering the current state of the AAA video game industry and discussing whether or not a crash is due to come soon enough. And we'll give evidence and cite sources.
Yeah.
So 4 p.m. Info is actually on the Comic-Con EGX website. And if you're there on the Friday, there'll be a map there, and I'll put out obviously what stage it is, because I cannot remember for the life of me what stage it is currently, but it will be there somewhere. I think it's the Rezzed one, I believe.
Yeah.
But so
right.
4 p.m. Friday the 24th. Awesome.
Yep.
Kylie, where can I find you in your streaming?
I am over on twitch.tv/KLEY_WILDE, where I stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Currently, I'm doing, spooky, spooktober, whatever you want to call it. So I'm playing basically only horror games, but normally Mondays are FPS games, Wednesdays are weird games, and Fridays are scary, spooky, ooky games. Because I get bored and I have ADHD and I need to do different things. Except for abiotic factor, which I'm just obsessed with. So, also if you can hear that, that is my two boys. Can you hear that?
I can, yeah.
Yeah, they're wrestling. We're having a good old time over there. If you just want a place to chill, you can lurk. I don't ever check lurkers, so you can lurk.
Yeah.
You can participate if you have a bad day. My chat, which is also this chat, it's the same chat. They will cheer you the frick up. I'll tell you that right now. It's all good people. We have the one rule to rule them all, which is talk about anything you want. We just don't hurt people. That's the only thing. It's the only rule. But everyone's accepted and everyone's embraced fully to be themselves.
Nice.
And then if you can, I really, really, really would appreciate it if people went and found me on TikTok or YouTube, mostly YouTube. TikTok seems to be doing okay. Not great, but okay.
TikTok is tip top.
Yeah. But YouTube just can't seem to,
No, I saw that. I saw one of your videos come up and I was like, day after it come out, and I was like, no views on it. I was like, wow.
None.
Shocking.
And yet, the previous week I was getting thousands. I got thousands of views on my shorts.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the next short dropped to 0. And
it's
when
weird,
they drop to
it?
0, you know that, that's YouTube. That's not you. If it had dropped to 20 or 30 views, then I'd be like, okay, that was me, and I need to work on my content. But it didn't. So anyway, but that's just me going off. Go off, King. But I know it's a shorter one, but I think that's going to do it for us. We will stick around a tiny bit, afterwards to have wonderful chats with our beautiful, fabulous audience.
We shall. Because I've got some things I want to discuss afterwards.
Yes, for now, we shall see you and talk to you next week. Bye!
Au revoir. Thank you for listening to this episode of Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast. You can watch the recording of the show live on Twitch every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. UK time at www.twitch.tv/rapidreviews. You can also watch the podcast on YouTube, search Rapid Reviews 5534, and you can also watch the video version of the show on Spotify, just search Rapid Reviews Radio. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, a rating, or a comment on this episode. You can also follow us on Twitter at rradiopod, as well as on Blue Sky at rrradiopodcast.bsky.social. Also be sure to visit rapidreviewsuk.com for all the latest reviews and previews.